So, it's been a while, but I guess now's as good a time as any, if not later, for another comic update, or rather a graphic novel update. I've been busy the previous year, partially working with a children's book series, actually. But I have another test print here. I actually learned a lot of good things working with a children's book series, which I put into action here. Though maybe still some things left to figure out. Things done a little differently than when I was working on the children's book series. So this cover, the last few prints I got from Amazon didn't have a glossy cover for some reason, but got one this time. I'm happy for that. So a lot of what I learned before had to do with setting up margins for book publishing. Previously, I was just focused on one area to keep things out of. Turns out there's actually two areas to keep track of when it comes to printing. Like, I keep getting the terms mixed up. Like things like trim and bleed and safe area. But I just like to call the margin areas the definitely will cut area on the outside and the probably will cut area, which may or may not be cut. So you just want to keep your text out of it, which would probably explain why with previous prints so much text that was right along the edge was being cut, because I don't want it to be right along the edge. So what I ended up doing for the definitely will cut area, I put together my file in InDesign, my file for printing, that is. And for the definitely will cut area, I'd have some extra space added using InDesign, like 1/8 of an inch. And then for the comic pages themselves, I put in some guides to show me where not to put the text, like within 1/4 of an inch, 1/8 of an inch, 1/8 of an inch area on the outside for the definitely will cut, and 1/4 of an inch past that for the probably will cut. There's also the space inside the book, like between the pages, for the spine. Also had to put in some margin areas for that, or some guides for that. It's definitely looking a lot better than before, but there are just still a few problems left. I want this to go all the way to the edge, but just look. There's this little blank space right along the edges, particularly on the outsides, but in some cases a little bit along the bottom. That's not what I wanted, and I'm not 100% sure what I can do about that. Now, perhaps I need to put some extra information on the inside, or some extra information in the InDesign file to account for the inside of the pages, like between the pages. The gutter, I believe, is the term. Also, with the cover, there seems to be a little bit of a garbage area on the very edges. Now, I think maybe I want to double check how I've been doing the cover. So, it's not exactly what I wanted. It may not really be fit for print, but it is a huge improvement what I've been doing up to this point. I know what I'm doing way more than before I worked on that children's book series, Lollipop's Great Adventures, just so you know. Cute story about cute animals doing cute things. And another thing that concerns me, thus far I have been making a book for just one chapter, but to make a better package for people to buy, I'm kind of thinking maybe I want to put multiple chapters in here, but that's going to be a lot more time and work. And, well, just maybe I'm being a little impatient, or maybe it's the fact that I'm looking to find work elsewhere, just to earn a living, but want to get something published done soon, so how best to go about this? And how best to fix these blank spaces on the outside? You know, maybe with a future comic, I'll just want to have them in box panels surrounded by white, like a lot of comics are. I could probably avoid a lot of potential problems that way. But what's done is done, I suppose.